We did it. Hit 1,000 subscribers, and that means that we do the 1,000 subscriber video. Um, I decided that my 1,000 subscriber video would be a little bit not gloomier, but like a little weirder than most normal ones. I want to talk about some things that I have kept hidden from you all for a couple years, and that was two experiences that I had with shallow water blackout. One of them was less a blackout, but still scary. And I had not disclosed to the channel that those had happened. So I'm going to talk about those and tell the story and show some footage and stuff. The other thing on the agenda, obviously, is a giveaway. We're going to give away a fish print of the winner's choice. All you have to do is subscribe if you haven't already and comment on this channel on this video, sorry. And then I'll pick a random comment and you can DM the Crystal Hook Fishing Instagram account when I get the winner. The winner will be announced on the Instagram account, so you should probably also follow that. Cool. Agenda item number 3, and then we'll get into the actual video. Hurricane Helene. If you all don't know already, this channel was started by me and Will Carlson. Will is on the channel a lot. He's the tall guy. Other than Evan, he's taller than Evan. Him and his little brother Matthew. You guys know Matthew. Matthew, we talk about him all the time. He's here. And Eric's always on the channel. The three of them are that's father, 2 sons. Their mom Melissa has been really integral in getting this channel off its feet. I'm sure she's plugged it to all of her friends. I'm sure like she lets her kids go out diving with me. I wouldn't let my kids, if I had them, do that. And that family has just been so integral to everything. My whole love of the outdoors comes from them. I've been friends with Will since we were babies, and it's hanging out with him and them that have really given me my love for spearfishing, the ocean, fishing, the outdoors, all that stuff. So this channel is really a product of my relationship with them. And the hurricane hit them bad. A lot of the videos that we have are, the outros are filmed in their living room. They're filmed in their front yard. They're filmed in the pond behind their house that has all the fish that we hand feed. It filmed in, the pool area behind their house, all totaled. Like, the water came in pretty high. All the furniture's floating, and the house is not structurally sound anymore. It's going to be a very long, probably 6 to 8 months for them to get things back on. So here's the living room. I was showing that earlier. Going into the dining room, we have so many videos there. That is where the happy birthday video was. There's the table. All this is just ruined. This is the playroom. No, this is the office. Yeah, there's their car, or one of them. The Phaeton out back, just completely flooded. Just not even recognizable anymore. And this water came up so high that it connected to the pond that was next door that had all the fish that we hand feed. And Matt caught in their pool after the water receded. Some of the tarpon ended up in the pool. Yeah, which is crazy to think about. More of the dining room and the laundry room out there. That goes into the garage. Their neighbor's house actually burned down too. So the damage is extensive, and yeah, they're gonna need some help. And so I've decided that I want to do as much as I can to help out, and I will be setting up, with their permission, obviously, a GoFundMe link, and any proceeds from the channel or from GoFundMe during this period are gonna go to them, and that will probably be put up on the Instagram as well. Yeah, it's really hard seeing a lot of the things with their house. I wish I could be there with them, but I'm up here in college, so I can't go to where they are and help them out. They're currently living in my house. I had my parents I asked my parents to get some space for them, so them and their grandparents are all in our house while they're figuring out living arrangements and stuff like that. But yeah, okay, into the video. All right, so about 2 years ago now, I had a blackout at Buford Sink that I didn't tell most people about. Unless you worked at Neptonics or you're a close friend of mine, you probably don't know about it. This video isn't from that day, but everything the rest of this is. I was with Matthew, Eric, Melissa, my mom, and the Carlson's dogs. We were at Buford. I was back on a long weekend from school, and we went diving. They were started off with scuba stuff, and I was doing shallow diving. Matthew saw a water moccasin, and he's freaking out in this. And we were getting ready to go to Buford, getting way back to that boardwalk. As if you don't know, Buford, it's a really long way to get back there, which becomes important later. I put a GoPro down on a ledge basically and was diving. If you know Buford, you know that these dives that I'm showing right now are really shallow. It doesn't matter how shallow you're diving. Even if you're diving shallow, what happens is if you don't take a service interval, which is what happened. I didn't take a service interval before I went to grab my GoPro. I said, I just came up from the deepest dive I'd done of the day. I went down to the boulder and sat on it, which is at like 95 feet. And I was like, I'm just going to go grab my GoPro real quick. So I go and grab my GoPro. There's Matthew, like, messing around. I was going to go do a deep dive, and he was going to safety me, but he wasn't looking. So I decided never mind. Also, don't have scuba people be the safeties. Have other freedivers, because they can't take you up. Anyway, I go back down to grab my camera, and I end up blacking out probably 15 feet below the surface and sinking back down to that ledge. They saw me on the ledge, thank God, and they immediately took me up. And the reason I'm playing this video here is once they got me to the surface, I wasn't like immediately conscious. They had to do CPR for a while. There was a nurse who was walking her dog who did CPR on me for a little bit, and then I finally woke up. I couldn't like move. I remember being pretty much unable to move. My mom was crying. Their mom was crying. Eric and Matt were pretty rattled, obviously. And it took the ambulance forever to get to us because of that road just being like impossible to pass, essentially. And we ended up, once the ambulance got to us, it ended up getting lost on that road. They went the wrong way, and it took us like an hour and a half to get to the hospital. They tried to cut my wetsuit off of me, and I said, no, don't cut my wetsuit off of me. So I tried taking it off myself, and I passed out. I do remember that. I don't remember a lot of things from it, but I do remember that. Get to the hospital. The first thing they do is they do brain scans. I don't have the picture of that, but I have the picture of this abdomen scan they did of me. I didn't really take that many pictures at the hospital. I took one with a nurse as I was leaving because I was very happy, and she was really nice to me the whole time. But I spent about, I think it was like 4 or 5 days in the hospital, and my lungs took 6 months to recover. So you'll see there's a period where I'm uploading very sparsely, and like it was like 2022, 2023 or something. And it was because I was recovering from this and I couldn't dive. My lungs were screwed and I had no ability to dive. They were healing from aspirating water. They had me on a bunch of antibiotics for pneumonia. It had basically taken the mucus layer off of my alveoli, and I had to replenish that. They were worried that it was going to heal with scar tissue and that I wouldn't ever be able to dive again. Obviously, that didn't happen, which is nice. But yeah, lesson of the day, do your surface intervals. Because if you don't, you'll spend 5 days in the hospital and maybe not even go to the hospital. I was very close to not waking up. CPR, normally you don't wake up from it at all. But that was the first one, and it's very easy for me to talk about now, but the reason I haven't done this video for so long is because it has been really hard for me to talk about. Okay. Next blackout. If you made it this far in the video, congrats. You're cool, I guess. This is the craziest part of the video because for this blackout, it was technically a samba, but whatever. I actually had my GoPro on for the whole thing. So I'm gonna narrate it like I narrate a normal dive. This was last summer, when Evan and I went to the Keys. I'll leave the link to the video up here. Um, Basically, what caused this is a combination of vicious current. Again, the like fighting the current means that you want to extend your service interval. You want to stay relaxed on the surface because you're using up oxygen by fighting the current, and you don't even really know it. And lack of sleep. We drove down on Friday late after work. We basically drove from midnight Friday and then got to the ramp at like 6 a.m., no sleep, launched, and dove. Terrible, terrible idea. And so the combination of those two things are what really caused this. And so I'm going to run the footage now and narrate it like a dive. Okay, so here I am on the way down. There's that fish. You've seen this clip before if you watch the channel. He's swimming around. I'm following him. I get that shot in him. He goes crazy and he locks up. This is where the stuff I show in the video ends. I head up and we do like 6 recovery dives to try to get this thing. And in this deep, that's big service intervals, fighting the current a long time. This is so each of us have done like 5 or 6 dives to try to get this thing. This is number 7, I believe, for me. And I'm exhausted. My service intervals get smaller each time because I'm getting more impatient. And what seals the deal here is I come around and you'll see the shaft, the end of the shaft here, and I start to pull on it, and you can see the fish like kind of fight it back in. I'm pulling, and the fish just like shoots back even further into the rock. And I pulled very hard, and that used a lot of oxygen for me. So I used up all this oxygen. I'm on my way up, and I'm not really feeling like I'm having a problem because I had been so sore and exhausted from all of the current anyway that I had gotten used to it and didn't realize I was in trouble until I was about right here on the surface, and then I'm already out. I'm out here. I'm like awake, but I can't control my body. I'm sombaing. Evan gets to me, does exactly what he needs to do. Pulls my mask up, blows on my face, almost starts rescue breath, but I wake up, and you'll see here when I put my face down in the water, he's dropped our guns and our weight belts. They're both on the floor exactly the way that they need to be. There's the guns floating down. And that, he saved my life right there. That was 100% all Evan, just being the best safety diver you could ask for. This is why I trust him so much, and this is why I consistently, he will always be the first person I ask to dive, especially when it's a hard trip like this. That kind of an experience is, I'm hoping, will be my last. That was really scary to have that happen in the open ocean. Very different than the Buford experience, obviously. I was conscious for the whole time. The Buford experience was like, it was scary because when I woke up, I saw how everyone else was scared. But this one, like, I was conscious through the whole thing, so experiencing it like that was terrifying for me. Like, knowing that I was going out and that my body wasn't responding to what I wanted it to do, that was freaky. And that is the end of this video. I'm glad I was able to get all that off my chest, tell you guys about it, and thank you so much for 1,000 subscribers. Dive safe. And now you know I mean it when I say it, dive safe, because the consequences can be pretty severe. So I'm gonna sign off. No outro today. Kelly, shake. There you go.